Have you ever reached the end of an LSAT passage and thought, but what does the author really think? You're not alone. Sometimes the author presents both sides of a fiery and contentious debate, strongly critiques and admonishes both sides, and then, finally, goes to grab a sandwich, leaving us to wonder what view the author takes. We're left with an unresolved question scenario, and these are especially common in antithesis passages with an absent author. So how do we deal with these? First, surprise, surprise, don't panic. When facing main point questions in this context, the answer usually recognizes the existence of a debate between X and Y without taking sides. More generally, though, the author's neutrality should be mirrored in any answer choice you select. For questions about the author's attitude, middle of the road is where you want to be. Think Switzerland. As you work through the passage, utilize secondary structure to catalog the main arguments in the flow of the debate. This detailed mental ledger will come in handy when questions quiz you on the opinions or disagreements between the sides. Then we have the infamous wall of text passages, usually 2 long paragraphs almost completely bereft of anything resembling secondary structure. These are the passages where your eyes glaze over, time stands still, and at the end, it feels like you've awoken from a coma. When this happens, definitely panic. Wait, no, the opposite of that. Don't panic. As you transition between paragraphs, think carefully about where the author has been and where they're leading you. Keep in mind, the secondary structure is still present, it's just missing the usual markers. Sometimes what you need is a good dose of faux enthusiasm. Imagine you're at a cocktail party and, for 4 minutes, you need to pretend to be fascinated by the person you're talking to. Really? That's so interesting. Tell me more. These passages may not be the most exhilarating reads, but if you can trick yourself into treating them like the gossip pages or a riveting novel, your engagement can improve exponentially. Remember, you don't have to walk away as invested or as well versed in the subject as the author is. You just want to understand why the author is so interested. If you could say, I just read 4 paragraphs about how this author loves statutes and thinks we should teach them more often in law school, then you've walked away with the most important information. Navigating unresolved question scenarios and walls of text requires a composed mindset, a strategic approach to structure, and perhaps a healthy dose of make-believe interest. Embrace these strategies, and the author's reticence will transform from a stumbling block into a stepping stone to understanding and ultimately to LSAT success.